It's pizza time.
He's alive? Alive! So I tried to film this video early January, and I did that. I procrastinated a little bit because I was a little uncertain about it. I was like, I don't know if I recorded everything properly, and I said everything I wanted to say. And then when I was like, okay, maybe I'll re-record it, or I'll like actually go through and properly edit it and see if it's actually that bad or not. Um, then I got sick. Really worked out for me there. But yes, I'm alive, despite the sickness, despite other things. I exist. Crazy, I know. I feel weird whenever I'm like talking directly as if you know me. Just as like a side tangent, have you ever like clicked on a video, and this is probably one of them, where it's like, 100 or less views, and somebody's talking to you as if you like know or should know who that person is, and then you're just like, why the fuck am I watching that? Like, if you're still watching this and you're one of those people, thank you, I guess. I don't know why you're still here, but I appreciate it. If you just want to stick here, that's great. If you want to bail, I don't blame you. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Anyway, for those of you that do know me, I'm riskRED. I've hacked into the safeBLUE channel, and I'm uploading on safeBLUE's channel. Different person, he took over my stream, I'm taking over his channel. I know immediately, you're probably like, whoa, what's going on? Okay, you're alive. What's going on? Where's the streams? What are you doing? Okay, just hold your horses, however many you got. I don't have any horses. If you have a horse, hold them. Otherwise, just, calm down. It's not good to tell somebody to calm down, but, just calm down. First, let me update you on just the general goings-on with me. I think it's a simple thing to do, so that's what I'm going to do. My last stream was the 23rd of December, 2024, and my last clip, YouTube short, was on the 24th, as well as a main channel video on the riskRED channel, being a compilation of all of those clips since, July 22nd? Yeah, July 22nd. Just a little over 5 months of daily clips and shorts, TikToks, whatever you want to call them. And that video had some extra like behind the scenes information and stuff like that. If you still haven't watched that and you're curious about that kind of thing, there is that stuff there. Since that point, Christmas has happened. Main takeaway that you guys would really care about, I got a new chair. I got a Secret Lab chair. Whoa. Wow. It honestly just looks a little more concise, and it's a little easier to see since it's gray and not like black and weird and shit. I bought my dad a Secret Lab chair last Christmas, and my dad bought me a Secret Lab chair this Christmas, so we kind of just bought Secret Lab chairs for ourselves. I had to wait a year. But it's good, though. I actually was desperately in need of a chair, so I'm glad to have it. It's very nice. I had family over and things, of course, for Christmas and that kind of thing, and multiple days of different things that way, so I don't really feel like I ever started like the stream break until like the start of this year in January. During the time in January, I've done a little bit. I've played a few new games. I started playing Yumi Nikki, which is definitely probably one that's like, what the fuck, what? You either don't know what I'm talking about, or you do, and you're like, why are you just playing that randomly? It was a game that I always wanted to play, but I always thought it was like some game that was really hard to acquire. It's literally on Steam. You can just download it on Steam for free. You don't even have to pay for it. Didn't know that. Discovered that through another video, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to download that and play it. So I played a bit of that. Haven't completed that yet. You just walk around and look at things, so it's nothing crazy, but I've had a good time with it, so I've been doing that. I got Game Pass for Indiana Jones. I stopped playing that because like any game that has like a lot in it, but I don't really get into the core of the game, I can't stick with it, and then it just kind of becomes overwhelming and I just don't want to play it anymore. It was a game that's like, here's the main story, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not super into it yet, let me keep playing it, and then it was like, here's a side mission, here's collectibles, here's like, now you gotta take a bunch of photos, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm good, thank you. I'm not that into it yet, game, sorry. But I have Game Pass, so I'm like, okay, I gotta check out other games, and one of them was Unpacking. I've thought about checking that game out on stream multiple times, but I didn't do it because I knew what kind of game it was. It's just a game where you like unpack boxes and you have rooms and you organize those rooms you organize the things in those rooms and on the shelves and in the drawers, and that's what you do. And you do that multiple times. It gets bigger over time and more complicated, and there's a little bit of a story with that, and that's literally the whole game. I have nothing wrong with that. I played the whole thing. It was really good. I had a good time with it. But because stream is like usually any game that's not super in-depth is usually seen as boring, I was like, no, it's not going to be a good stream game. And I didn't know it was on Game Pass, so when I learned that, I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I want to play it now. I'm going to play it. and I really liked it. It's not a good game to like want to replay, but it was a good game. So if you haven't played it before and you have Game Pass, check it out. It's a couple hours and then you're done. It's a good game. I started playing Psychonauts because it's just like a platformer. I've known that for a long time, but I've never gone out of my way to try to play it. I don't know if it was just the aesthetic of it or something, but I always thought it was a game I wouldn't like. I'm still kind of half and half on it, but overall I think I like it. So I'm still playing it. I still have a lot to do, I think. I don't know. I'm like learning levitation right now or something, so I don't know how far in the game that is. But overall, I've liked it. The first like major boss it gave to me, I thought was really bullshit because I just felt like I couldn't avoid it properly. It's overall good, but I've been playing that. I still have a lot to do in it, but I've been doing that as well. And lastly, and the most substantial one, I played Astrobot. I actually just fully finished it today. What day is it today? It is January 31st. It's just a little after midnight, so, you know, I finished it January 30th. I had a great time with it. It's a very good game. Kind of wanted to pick it up once it went on sale a little bit, which it did after the Game Awards, once it won Game of the Year, so decided to pick that up. That was also one that I thought about playing on stream, but because the PlayStation 5 is not specifically mine, it would be a little bit harder to stream that consistently. Also, a hard game to stream because a lot of the game sound comes out of the controller. And there's really no way to like, you can turn off the game sound on the controller completely. It doesn't go to the TV when you do that. You just lose that audio, which is kind of weird. And so streaming it would be kind of odd. And I've recorded a few clips on the PS5 while playing it. And then I like look back at it and I'm like, man, I cannot hear like the punch sound effects. I can't hear like the jump sound effect or like coins and stuff. And it's really weird. Like, they're there, but they're really subtle because most of the sound comes out of the controller, so it would have been a little weird sound-wise with that game. Overall, the game, very fun. Had a good time with it. Didn't really have too much problem in the game with levels too much. Like, the last final challenge stage I beat on my second try. The only stage I will say, the speedrun stage where you use the monkey ability, fuck that stage. That is terrible, very awkward. It uses motion controls, and basically this is how you play the level, by the way, just so you know. I'm not even making that up. I'm not making that. That's how you play the level. It sucks. It's dick. And I guess the last thing in relation to games, the Nintendo Switch 2 was announced. So that's cool. Just speaking of consoles, cool. There's not a lot of information about it right now. And I feel like there's not a lot I can say that hasn't already been said already based on when like the announcement came out. So, I mean, you know, I can't really add more to it, but I know I'm going to get it when it comes out. So there's that. New Mario Kart game. I love Mario Kart. Was very excited when Mario Kart 8 came out. Mario Kart Wii is like one of my favorite games. Hopefully it's good. And obviously the only like substantial videos on the main channel that I've done in the last while were like the, you know, wave videos of Mario Kart 8's Booster Pass. So, you know I like Mario Kart. I'll try to remember to do some insert shots here, but I got some new plushies. You can see them behind me, but here's some like close-up shots of them. I've got the Cult of the Lamb plushies from Devolver Digital, the newer ones. They have the goat as well as the like, you know, current version of the lamb. The old one has like a bell on it, so now it's a plush bell. However, the bells are still like attached to the plushies, but they're actually little capsules inside of the heads of the plushies, which is an interesting choice. It makes them a little bit more mellow, and not nearly as annoyingly loud, so I do like that. But the more substantial one, the one that you probably are more interested in, the one that if I turn my head you can see a little bit in the corner. I got a Fumo. Now, I spoke about that already on stream. Most of you probably know about that already. I ordered it like in June of last year, and it was like, oh, it'll ship out in November. And I was like, okay, cool, it'll take a couple weeks based on the shipping. And then it got delayed, and then Canada Post had a strike. And yeah, so I didn't get it until like a week or two ago, January 2025. So it took a little while, but I got it. It just showed up randomly one day with no warning, and the tracking information still to this day says that it's still in Tokyo. So maybe I'll get another one. I don't know. Maybe that one was just like a fluke that showed up to my house for some reason. I don't know. I was hoping to get that before the Toho stream on the 23rd. Didn't happen, obviously. So I'm still happy to have it, but I was kind of hoping to get it before that. But that's kind of why I was telling you guys about it, because I was like, guys, I bought a Fumo, but I can't show it to you because I don't have it, and it just unfortunately didn't link up, but I have it now, so I am officially a Toho. I think that's what that means. I think that gives me access to Gensokyo, right? I think I'm allowed in there now. I've also stupidly, you know how I talked about on stream, and I made a clip talking about how I found some tech decks. I just happened to fidget with them a little bit, and I was like, you know, I still kind of remember how to like do like an ollie on it and stuff, and You know, not super well, but I can still do it. The fingerboards aren't great quality, but I can still fidget with them a little bit, do like a little pop shove it or something, and that's about it. I thought, you know what? I should get some better ones, which I did, and I already did at the time. I got a Tech Deck Pro board, and a few newer tech decks to kind of play around with. Yeah, I got a lot more than that now. I bought some setups from a website called Teak Tuning, which is a little bit better than tech decks. There are some people that say they're terrible. I don't think they're that bad, but I did buy some like fancier wheels for them, which make them feel a lot better. I bought some like Tech Deck Performance Series boards, which are a little bit better than a normal Tech Deck, but still not amazing. And then I also just bought like proper setups from companies like Black River and Awful Fingerboards. So I have that, and I have like a Black River ramp. Black River is like a big fucking company in terms of fingerboards, and I have a ramp from them now. I've gotten into it. I have a DIY rail that I put on my deck. I use this for fingerboarding. I've learned a lot more. I can do like kickflips consistently. I'm into fingerboarding again, and I'm definitely better than I was as a kid. I kind of could kickflip, and now I can kickflip, so I'm past what I was as a kid by a long shot at this point. It's very fun. I'm having a good time with it. It's fun to kind of just spend a little bit of time trying to like learn a trick and get better at it, and then be like, okay, I kind of know how to do that. Let's learn something new, and just, I don't know, I'm having a good time with it. It's really fun. But to get to the real meat and potatoes, kind of, I guess. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. Actually, a little side tangent just before I get to that. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail about it, but in October, I had a relative of mine go into the hospital, and they've kind of been off and on in a hospital. My family's kind of been like the closest person or closest people to kind of like help them out with stuff. Once to twice a week, it's basically just been like visiting them and taking these like multiple hour drives, basically spending the whole day going out, getting them stuff and helping out and all that kind of stuff. It's been hectic. It's been hectic to explain to you right now. But yeah, so it made me towards the end of the year feel a little less connected to stream stuff and feel a little out of it, just because doing that and then combined with like trying to do the normal stream schedule and also have daily clips, it was a little much. So apologies for that for any of you guys that have been that were watching streams in like the last 2 months of 2024 or so. Things were just very busy due to things like that. And now the real meat and potatoes. I've been thinking a lot. Pretty much every year, right around the end of the year, I think about a video that I made that I thought was 10 years ago. It was actually 9 years ago. It basically feels like 10 years ago. And I kind of have to explain a little bit before I talk about it. In 2014, my grandmother had passed away, and she ended up having like dementia and Alzheimer's. My uncle happened to live with her, kind of. She had a house, an old house that was converted into an apartment. So kind of living with her, but not really, but kind of. Through that, she ended up kind of doing some weird stuff with money without anybody really knowing, and it kind of ended up making her lose the house. Because of that, my uncle didn't really have anywhere to go. And so for about a year, he stayed with my family. Problematically, at the time I had, there was 2 rooms that were kind of like, or that I was able to use and was basically my rooms, if you want to consider them that, which is nice to have 2 rooms, but I had like one room that was like just, it was a bedroom, and that was basically it. And then a much smaller room that had like a TV, basically my desk with my computer, and that was basically it. When my uncle came to live with my family, he ended up taking my bedroom, and I had to move everything from my bedroom into that smaller room. It was smaller than this room. It was about like half the width of this room. It was not a long or wide room, and I had to move everything in there. It was very cramped, and I kind of felt like it was smaller than Harry Potter's like room that he gets in Chamber of Secrets in like the Dursleys' house, Dudley's second bedroom. Like it was smaller than that room, and I had to have my bed and like my desk in there for a computer and like all the stuff that I owned. It was cramped. And so being in that cramped room, and then also my uncle was home most of the time, whenever I was home. So having that, I was cramped in a tiny room, and I never really had any privacy. I'm an only child, so, you know, being used to that and then just not having that ever. Especially during like core, at the time it was core years of high school, it wasn't great. And so on New Year's Eve of 2015, I got a camera for Christmas. Specifically the camera that I use for the room cam nowadays on stream. I point because it's up it's up there. I don't have it on, but it's up over there. I got that Christmas, and I was like, I want to film a video because I don't know. I was kind of, I guess, feeling some emotions from both high school stuff and just life in general at that time. So I recorded a video and I just wanted to talk about some stuff that I was feeling. And my parents happened to not be home that day. I think they were at some New Year's party. And my uncle happened to not be there either, which was pretty rare. And I decided to just talk about some stuff. And most of that stuff is irrelevant now. But there was one thing in particular that kind of stuck out to me. I was looking at kind of how life had been in the past with, significant changes in life, going from elementary school. I say elementary school, the Canada schooling system, at least the one that I went through, it was basically a school that went like kindergarten to grade 8, which is a little weird realistically when you think about it, but that was the system. So kindergarten to 8th grade, and then 9th to 12th, and then college or university. When I went from 8th grade to high school, there were a lot of friends that I had that were in grades under than me that I didn't really talk to anymore because I was in a different place. There was also a bunch of people that went to the same high school as me, and I just didn't talk to them because I found new friend groups, or there was a bunch of people that went to a different high school, so I didn't see them anymore, and so there was just a lot of loss of, like, friends that I would normally talk to because they're all in different places or interacting with different people. And I just had a feeling that once high school was over and I went to college, that same kind of thing was going to happen again. And it did. It 100% did. Basically, every person that I knew in high school in my grade decided to stay an extra year. Like, everybody under me, obviously, was still in high schools. And obviously, on top of also the fact that a lot of people decide to go to different colleges and universities. When I went to college, it was like, it's just me, man. That's it. In this video, I talked about how I felt like that was going to happen. And then, like, once I'm out of college, like, if I'm not making, like, friends in college, like, where's that going to end up going? My parents, a lot of their friends are not college friends or university friends. They're friends from like high school and stuff that they still talk to. So it's like, I'm going to either have to put in the effort to keep into contact with people that I talked to in high school, or I don't think after college I'm really going to have anybody that I talk to. That's pretty much what ended up happening. I was kind of, friendly with some people due to COVID and stuff. That was basically right when I graduated college. COVID happened, and so was kind of forced to still stay in contact with a lot of people from college. So I did talk to people from my college program for about a year after graduation. But then after that, people started doing other stuff with their lives, and that kind of died off eventually. And I really only very rarely talked to like 2 people that I was friends with in high school. Other than that, I don't talk to anybody really at all. And it's been kind of a sad thing to realize. But in that video, that was my prediction. And I was like fully fucking right about it. Like, it's literally what I said. I'm not gonna, like, specifically show that video. I know I have it somewhere. Yeah, it is basically what I said and what I predicted, and that's where I'm at. And I think about it every year, because I'm like, I'm a little closer to that reality. No matter what I do to try to prevent that from happening, that's where life ended up going. So it's nice to have streaming to talk to you guys and do things like that. At the same time, though, it is definitely a different dynamic, which it should be, obviously. That makes sense. For the most part, you guys are my general conversational outlet, which is weird. Probably shouldn't be that way, but it is. But I kind of have to be a little realistic about it. There's been a lot of growth on stream. I would say that streaming mostly consistently since about 2020, 2021, around there, somewhere in there. A lot of growth that's happened since then. If you go to a really old stream on the riskRED channel, it's definitely a lot different. If you go past that to other channels, it's even weirder, but that's a bit different. Things have definitely changed, both me as well as just the stream overall, and I would say overall for the better. There's part of it that hasn't as much as I've hoped it would. I feel like since about like 2020, like the end of 2022, there's kind of been like a plateau of like where the stream has gone overall. Maybe it's gone up a little bit and down a little bit here and there, but I feel like it's mostly hovered around the same place. And I feel like no matter what I try to really like push past that, nothing really goes past that. When I started streaming, like as riskRED, I had the YouTube channel set up way before. The reason I started doing streams is because I was planning on already doing it, but I was kind of setting up like how I wanted to stream. And so I was experimenting with NVIDIA Broadcast, which I think it's still called that. It's a little like AI tool that you can put like your camera into as well as your mic, and it uses AI for like noise removal as well as like getting rid of the background, like a green screen without a green screen using AI. It's very cool. It's really powerful. And I didn't have a green screen at the time, and I didn't have like a super amazing microphone. I had a really old Blue Yeti, which is not terrible, but it was pretty old and it wasn't doing super well. It was nice to be able to have some like audio cleanup as well as background cleanup and stuff. And it helped the quality for sure. And so I was kind of playing around with setting that up. At that time, I was playing Super Mario 64, like the Render 96 PC port, and I was just going through and I was like, you know, I should record some of this and just like do a little test recording and see how I like it. And so I did that, and then I pulled it into Premiere and I started editing it. And I was like, this is kind of good. This kind of could work as a video. Let me record a little bit more, since I still had the game up. I still had OBS open and everything. And so I started just recording more. And then eventually I was like, I have enough for a video. Why don't I just upload this? I know it's kind of out of nowhere. It's also a random spot in Mario 64. It's not like Bob-omb Battlefield. It was like not even Cool Mountain. What the fuck is that one level called? Either way, like, you know, it's like the upstairs upper area. But it was still funny. I got angry. It was kind of a rage moment. And that's the first video on the riskRED channel. I did that and I'm like, I could stream like this and then also turn it into videos. So I'll do that. That's what I'll do. And so I did that for a little while. But after a while, I started to realize that I felt like I wasn't doing that well on stream. I feel like I was just recording a YouTube video and just streaming it. I wanted to feel like I was doing a live stream that got turned into a YouTube video. So I decided to stop doing videos for a little while and focus on doing streaming and trying to do better interaction and actually like make the live content feel better. And it took a while, but I feel like it definitely did go that way and it felt better overall. Eventually I kind of just got comfortable with doing live streams, and I was still archiving live streams, of course, on riskRED Live, but that was pretty much all I was doing, and I kind of got comfortable with that. And I just kind of kept doing live streams, archiving them, and I wasn't really focused on videos. After a while, I kind of realized it was problematic because even though I was archiving live streams, I knew that it wasn't really going to give me any growth from just doing live streams and VODs and stuff. So I was kind of hoping to do something with videos, and so I started doing the Mario Kart 8 like booster course pass videos just to kind of like have something while I was trying to figure out the format I wanted to do. And eventually, I don't want to say disaster struck, but it kind of feels that way a little bit. I was like re-uploading and batch re-uploading because I was kind of running a little behind on archives of streams. As you know, one of the redeems on the channel on Twitch, one of the channel point redeems, is riskREACTS, which is basically, it's changed how it's been multiple times, but it's, the core of it is we watch a 10-minute long YouTube video at max. If it's longer than that, we'll watch 10 minutes and no more of the video. Or if it's shorter than that, we'll just watch the whole video, whatever. 10 minutes, no more than that. You can send a video. I think we left it on like a 45-minute cooldown or something like that. Obviously, those videos are sent to me out of like nowhere. Like if you know about the redeem, you know, obviously it's just like, I get a random video. I have no context on it. We watch it. That's what it is. Sometimes the reaction's good, sometimes it's not, because it depends on the video and stuff. It's like, it's just an instant reaction video, which initially I made that as I was going to do it as like a parody thing, where you would like submit a video and then I'd be like, whoa, cool, whoa, that's so, whoa, you know, and just do something like that. But I was like, no, we'll do it as an actual thing, but like I'm not going to put a huge emphasis in it because it's whatever, right? Eventually a Subnautica stream, Subnautica Part 5, on the riskRED Live channel went up. Somebody's video in it that was sent to me that I didn't even really remember too much, but the Subnautica streams, I never completed that playthrough because it's kind of got a little grindy towards the later streams and people were kind of not into it, so I was starting not to be into it either, and so I was definitely not like on my full game that day, and so, you know, it was like 4.5 hours into stream and somebody sent a video from Tony Zaret, and I don't even remember exactly what the video was about. It was something to do with like woke characters and something like that. I don't know. He's like a skit channel, I guess, doing like satire. I'm not really sure. I'm not super familiar with his content, and it's definitely one of those channels where it's like, where's the line drawn? It's kind of unclear. And that's definitely by design. So we had that video. I wasn't like super into it, and we were kind of talking about stuff before that video happened, so I kind of like went back into talking about that. Apparently their video got like detected in my video. I never really expected that to happen too much, but it does happen. I guess that makes sense. I was kind of aware of that, and I'm like, well, my video is not monetized or anything like that. I'm not pointing out their video. Their video is 4.5 hours into my video. It's only 10 minutes of like a 6-hour stream that's mostly Subnautica. But then they made a video like reacting to my reaction of it and basically like making me seem like I'm like the shittiest reactor, which yeah, I am, because I don't care about reaction content. Like I'm not trying to, you know, do reaction content seriously. It was never the point of it. And basically like shitting on me the whole time, and the fact that I wasn't like fully into the video, which I wasn't. It's not really my kind of content. I hate to admit it, but that's the case. Not all videos are winners, man. I'm not saying the video's bad, it's just not for me. And so they're like shitting on me, and they uploaded it to their channel, and their channel had like 100,000 subscribers. So I'm getting like comments and stuff from people on multiple different services that I have telling me that I'm a piece of shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And telling me is like, oh wow, you're so woke. You're a woke fucker. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. I'm like, it's not even like a huge focus of the video. I'm like, whatever. So then I'm like, okay, I'll cut it out of the video. That's fine. If you don't want it there, I'll do that. And so I did. And then I like sent a thing because he like tweeted about the video that he made that was like joking on me. And I'm like, hey man, I like removed it from the video. I'm sorry. It's, you know, it was randomly sent to me. I didn't know. There's like not much I can do about it. I'm just re-uploading my stream archives. And they're like, I wasn't really that serious about it, lol. Like, okay, but I still have people like basically calling me an asshole and stuff. And so they eventually got rid of the video, and then they got rid of their tweet about it. And so you can't even find evidence of that video anymore. But they made it, and I watched it. I didn't save it. I thought about doing it just as a fun history piece, but I don't really care to rewatch it because it was kind of just annoying. I didn't upload streams for a while after that, and I stopped streaming for like a week or two. But then the Game Awards happened, I think, so then I ended up doing a stream of that. Ironically, reaction content. And then I was like, okay, well now I'm going to cut out all the reacts when I re-upload them. But I found out pretty quickly that I'm like, well, there are some jokes and things that I like retell that happened during a react segment. So it's like, now that context is lost when I re-upload it. So I stopped doing that, and I decided, okay, I'm going to like edit the react, like I'll cut out ones that don't need to be in the video, and then I'll keep ones that are either funny enough or work well enough, but I'll like edit them down as if it's like a YouTube video in the middle of like a stream or something. It's just like a quick kind of compilation of the reaction. And that takes a long time based on how many reacts there are. It's usually like 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of content edited down into like YouTube video formats that I also have to make sure to put, like I put in the credits of every video. I also timestamp every VOD where like the video was and where the gameplay was and when like a BRB section was or whatever, anything like that. And yeah, and so doing all that added so much more time basically making and archiving any of my streams, which, you know, it's nice to have that, but as somebody that's like also trying to do all the streams that I'm doing, save all that and then hopefully do videos, which I still wasn't even doing at that point, that was kind of hard to do. Yeah, I had another person that like copyright struck me as well later. Somebody sent like a copyright strike for some old video of mine that had their Don't Starve gameplay in it. A copyright strike, by the way, not a claim. And then I like reached out to them via email, and they never responded to me. So to me, they're an a-hole. Like I reached out to you to multiple emails, multiple emails, multiple email addresses, no response. They went directly to a copyright strike. Again, a video 5 hours into a 7-hour long stream of 10 minutes of very generic Don't Starve gameplay. I don't know, I think it's pretty low to do. Like, yeah, should I have your video in my video? Probably not, but there were multiple ways to go about that before going straight to a strike. I think that should be pretty obvious. So with all that, it kind of deterred me from wanting to do stream archives anymore. It was a lot of effort, and then even with putting that effort, old streams were still being targeted. So it's like, what do I do after that? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do something I wanted to do for a while. And so I started doing clips and shorts. I think I should have some shareable content somewhere, and if I'm not doing like full videos, I should at least do like, you know, TikToks or whatever, right? I started doing that. I set it up in my OBS so that I could like record the stream vertically and save clips while I was streaming. So it was all like pretty much set up already. All I had to do was just like edit it down and then add captions and stuff and a few other fixes here and there. And then I could just do that daily and have a clip out. And it was very fun to do. Analytically, it was very weird. I was kind of hoping having like daily clips would be really good, because then I would just have tons of stuff that would like always be out there on a constant basis, especially if I'm uploading like the same time every day. They would just be like recommended more. I knew for YouTube that would help. I didn't know about TikTok. I don't think TikTok really cared as much if it was like at the right time or not, but whatever. So I started doing that for a while. Obviously, I started that in July 2024. Yep. You know, there every once in a while there'd be one that would like kind of pop off, And then after a while, it would kind of go back down to like average numbers. And so I never really felt like doing those clips for a long time. Like I had a fun time doing them and it was nice to have them, but I never felt like it really got any sort of like long-term traction. I feel like there would be like little bubbles of traction and then it would kind of die out. Even if the clips, I think, quality-wise would like generally go up and down, I don't feel like the curve of like the analytics or the traction that they actually gained really correlated to my own liking of any of the clips. Some clips that did well, I was like, that's not a great clip. And other clips that I thought did well were like some of the worst clips in terms of reception. It's like, so it was really weird. After 5 months of doing it, I feel like overall it didn't really do what I was hoping. Going into like mid-October to November, somewhere around there, I was kind of feeling pretty burnt out of most things. I didn't really want to archive streams anymore. Clips were not a huge amount of work. Sometimes they were, sometimes they weren't. It depended on the clip. If I was like condensing Mario Galaxy footage and like a whole level into like one minute clip, that was hard. But if it was like, me talking about something for like 5 minutes, that was a little bit easier to deal with. But overall, I was starting to get burnt out from that too, just because it was like, I like this clip, I'm going to put a lot of effort into it, and then I upload it, and, this one happens to be one that gets like 20 views. It's like, oh, well, that's awesome. Which happened multiple times too. I'd put like a lot of effort into a clip and it wouldn't do well at all, and then I put like no effort into the next clip, and then it would be like, 1,000. It's like, I don't know. But then like towards like the last couple months, like it didn't really matter what I did, and like long-term traction never came out of it. I don't feel like I ever had anybody that was like watching the clips and then decided they wanted to come over and watch the streams. I don't feel like that ever happened. So I was like, well, why am I doing this and putting this effort into these clips if at the end of the day, nobody's really coming through anyway and really caring? It might just be a little bit of entertainment for them, or they just scroll past it. Why am I still putting a huge amount of effort into that? So I decided, I'm like, okay, when I do my stream break, I'm also going to do a break from clips and shorts and stuff like that. And it makes sense too, because like I'll start to deplete out of content when I take a stream break anyway, so I might as well just have the clips stop when I also take a stream break. I'll do that right at Christmas Eve, and I'll put out a little compilation of all the clips I did since July. And it was fun to do. It was fun to do that. I was like, just to make it a little bit fancier, I'll also put in like the stream that it was from, the songs, and like the music that I used in any stuff I inserted into a clip, behind the scenes stuff, the title of the clip, as well as like the little tagline that I would put on them, which is usually stuff I'd put in on TikTok, and just all that extra information, right? And it took a little bit of time to do that, but it was fun too. And the reason I did it was because I kind of felt like once I get to the end of the year, I'm really going to be considering like, what do I do for 2025? If worst comes to worst, and I end up deciding like I'm just not going to do anything, and I'm just going to kind of leave things here, then at least I have like, here's a video that's like a compilation of all the stuff that like I did for the last 5 months before I said, yeah, I'm done, I'm out. And right now, I kind of hate to say it, that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Because I feel like, out of the several things that I've tried, and I'm not saying I did anything perfectly. If I did things perfectly, everything would be great. I feel like out of all the things I've tried, I'm kind of at a point where, unless I do something like really drastic and very different, which I think is kind of like the last sort of option I have, what is that? I don't really know. I guess we'll have to figure that out. But I don't currently know what that is. And so am I going to keep streaming? Maybe. I don't know. I'll upload this and I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll stream next week. Or I'll upload this and I'll still be the same, which right now I'm like, I don't have any plans to right now. I don't like to say that because there's been a lot of great things. There's been a lot of great experiences on stream that have been fantastic. There's been a lot of you that have supported and stuck by and come to like every stream, and it's been really, really great. And I'm really thankful for you guys that have done that. I'm really thankful for a lot of the, conversations that have been had via stream. A lot of the, especially like EDGEY and Sub as well. You guys have been fantastic. And so I really, really appreciate it. As well as the experiences that have been had via stream that, you couldn't really do anywhere else. Like Twitching of Isaac in its entirety just doesn't work at all. Like, it just can't happen. You can't have Twitching of Isaac. You can have Binding of Isaac, but you can't have Twitch integration without, being on stream and having people watching your stream. You know what I mean? And also just stuff that, like, yeah, I could have played Alan Wake 2 on my own, but playing that on stream was so much more fun, and, like, the jokes that came out of that later, the fact that you guys, like, anytime that there's a joke that can be made about Alan Wake just during some, like, I'm playing, like, you know, Super Monkey Ball and we're talking to him and we're like, wake, Alan, wake, wake. That's great too, of course. I've really appreciated a lot of you guys being around and a lot of the good stuff that has happened. I just think at the end of the day, you know, when I'm looking at overall, like, myself and where life's at, you know, I'm streaming for you guys, but it's like, I don't know where I really see a lot of the stuff going. Not that I want to, like, get into super amount of detail, but at the same time, you know, the amount of financial that has gone towards streaming has been, you know, a lot more than what comes out of it. And I also feel like in the last, like, couple months, especially, I feel like the stream overall has been kind of, like, declining again, which I don't blame anybody that like comes to the stream for that or anything like that. I don't blame anybody on that outside of myself, because if you're not like wanting to show up to the streams and you're not wanting to watch the streams, that's my fault. You know, I'm not doing well enough to make you want to come back and watch another stream. And I do feel like that's definitely my fault even more, because I feel it, especially in the last couple streams. I wanted to do smaller streams and kind of smaller series and like one-off games closer to the end of the year, because I didn't want to like start anything new and major knowing that it's possible I might not ever come back to finish them. And so I feel bad about Minecraft, because that one there was no chance I was finishing that before the end of the year. Apologies. I just kind of felt like when I was doing streams, especially in December, I felt like there was like one stream that was just like, I did fucking awful. And then the next stream I was like, that was great. Then the next stream would be like, wow, that was even worse than the one that I thought I did bad at. And then the next one would be like, yeah, it was okay. That one, the next one was fucking awful. And then the one after that was like, wow, finally we got a good one. You know, and it just felt very like one side or the other. So what's my main thing now? What now? I don't exactly know. Again, I have no idea. I might decide to stream in like a week and be like, you know what, never mind, I want to stream right now. I would say probably not that, but who knows. I might decide to do videos on the main channel that are like exclusively for the main channel, you know, edited down videos of something. Could be something completely different. I don't really know. So anything's possible that way. VODs are not updated on the riskRED live channel still. I was kind of hoping to get to that by the end of the year, or rather the start of this year, and I haven't. A little bit of procrastination, but also just other stuff happening. I'm hoping to get to that and actually make that happen, and so I think it will. I will definitely do that at some point, for sure. But for now, though, I'm going to be in the Discord. I'll be there. I'll still be alive there. I'll be more alive than I have been, for sure. Thank you guys, though, for everything thus far. I don't want to say it's the end overall. It is for now. For now, I have to slimp somewhere else. I don't even know what that means, but yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. For now, I have to slimp somewhere else. But yeah, no, truly, thank you guys for everything. I really do appreciate it. I hate to kind of be like, I'm going to be stopping things for a little while. I have already, and that's going to continue for now. I don't really know exactly, again, what'll happen in the future, but that's everything from me. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of whatever. Go check out EDGEY, by the way. If you don't watch EDGEY, watch EDGEY, because EDGEY still streams, and I think it's also making a new model or something. So that's cool. Watch EDGEY streams. Anyway, see ya. Sorry, wrong person. You know, you can delete. Sorry, literally Tara just messaged me, stupid monkey, and then said, sorry, wrong person. You can just delete messages. You don't have to. Jesus Christ. All right, whatever.